Energy efficiency. Let's talk numbers.
Desert King Windows, we knock out the weather.
All right, so today we got a fancy little gizmo we get to play with. This is a Spectrum. It measures a couple of different things. So to kind of help me out, because there's a lot of different parts here, I brought in my stunt double, Kobe here. We got UV rays. Okay, so everybody knows what UV rays are for the most part. That's what gives you sunburn. That's what damages your furniture, what the sunlight damages. Okay, then you got visibility. So that's how much light is going from here to here. Okay, I'm gonna turn it on there. And then of course, infrared heat. That's pretty basic. That's how much heat's going through. All of those things create what's called the solar heat gain coefficient. We're gonna put those to numbers. We got a couple of different low E's that we have here, as well as just a standard dual pane with no low E. So we can actually put to numbers what these all do. So here you go, Kobe, you're gonna hang on to that. All right, so the first one we wanna put in here is just regular 2 panes of double strength glass. Nothing fancy here, very simple stuff. All right, what numbers we got there?
All right, so we're looking at UV of 59, visibility of 82%, infrared of 65%, and SHGC of 77.
All right, so 0.77 is the solar heat gain coefficient. Now, almost 60% of UV rays are going through there. Obviously, you can see really well through there. It's 82%. A lot of heat. All right, so let's try the next one here. This one is low E 366, okay? Stands for 3 coats of low E, 66% visibility. Let's see if the numbers check out.
All right, UV we're looking at 04.
4% UV rays.
Visibility we're looking at 58%. Infrared 1%.
1% of the heat coming
and
through.
Solar heat gain coefficient is 0.27.
Not bad, not bad. All right, so that's 366. Now let's try this, what's called low E 340, okay? 3 coats of low E, 40% visibility. So you can see how dark that is. It's like car tint.
All right, UV again at 1%. Visibility is 37%. Infrared is 0%. Solar heat gain coefficient is 0.24.
0.24, dang. That thing, nothing's coming through that. Barely any light. This is perfect for the south side of the house. Maybe you have it's the family room, you have a glare on the TV or something middle of the day. This is a great one, all right? Now the very last one is what the Anlin calls the sun matrix. Now this is low E 452. 4 coats of low E, 52% visibility. This is the latest in low E technology here. So this has only been on the market for what, 2 years maybe?
Okay, we're looking here. UV again at 1%. Visibility is 48%. Infrared again at 0. And solar heat gain coefficient of 0.26.
So what I like about this one here is it seems to it's the best of both worlds. So you get a little bit more light coming through there. So more light than you get with the 340, but still almost nothing when it comes to UV rays and heat. All right, so if you're wondering what the solar heat gain coefficient is, this is actually really important if you're aiming to get some tax credits for it. So basically it's done by the NFRC, okay? That is a government entity that rates windows and doors and how much heat and cold to go through it. You have the U factor, and that's how well the window fights against the cold, which is actually the inverse of an R value. Well, with heat, it's measured a little different. It's measured by the solar heat gain coefficient. What that is it takes all 3 of these into account. There is a flaw there. I don't know if you saw it, but there is a major flaw in that particular number, and it is visibility. Basically, the government's saying that if there's less light coming through the window, it means it's more energy efficient. I don't know about that, but needless to say, that is the case. This is on a scale of 0 to 1. Lower the number, better. So lower the number, the better it is. You did notice with the 340 and the 452, you had UV rays at around 1% or so, and you had the infrared heat 0 to 1% on both of those. However, the solar heat gain coefficient on the 340 was better, measurably better. I don't really necessarily think that means it actually is better, but it doesn't perform better. It just means less light's coming through. So that is a flaw. So you want to make sure that you're doing your homework on that. Maybe you don't want darker windows in your house. Maybe you want some light coming through. I mean, that's pretty much why everybody lives in Arizona. We have 350 days of sunlight. We love the sun. I like light coming through the windows. I would much rather go with the 452 than the 340, but that's just me. So make sure you do your homework, make the right purchase for yourself.
We use the best windows, 'cause nothing works better. Desert King Windows, we knock out the weather.